Why do you suppose I just hurled a chair at your head, Neiman?
I don't know.
Sure you do.
For those of us who learned an instrument growing up, I'm sure we've all experienced our fair share of strict music teachers. But have you ever had a chair tossed at you? Well, this story follows an ambitious jazz drummer who is pushed to his limits by his abusive instructor. Whiplash is a 2014 American independent psychological drama film, starring Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons.
Andrew Neiman is a first-year student and jazz drummer at the prestigious Schaefer Conservatory in New York City, hoping one day to leave a legacy like that of his childhood idol, jazz drummer Buddy Rich. Terrence Fletcher, a highly revered conductor of the Schaefer Conservatory studio band, recruits Andrew to play in the studio ensemble as an alternate for core drummer. Before his first rehearsal, Fletcher gives him a pep talk.
Listen, the key is to just relax. Don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about what the other guys are thinking. You're here for a reason. You believe that, right?
Yeah.
Say it.
I'm here for a reason.
Cool. All right, man. Have fun.
Andrew, feeling confident, begins to play Hank Levy's titular piece, Whiplash, but quickly discovers that Fletcher is relentlessly strict, emotionally manipulative, and abusive to his students. He berates Andrew when he fails to keep tempo and hurls a chair at him.
Why do you suppose I just hurled a chair at your head, Neiman?
I don't know.
Sure you do.
The tempo?
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
I don't know.
Start counting.
5, 6, 7.
In 4, damn it! Look at me!
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Now, was I rushing or was I dragging?
I don't know.
Count again.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rushing or dragging?
Rushing.
So you do know the difference!
Determined to impress Fletcher, Andrew intensifies his drum practicing. After their first set at a jazz competition, Andrew misplaces Tanner's sheet music. Since Tanner cannot play without the sheets, Andrew replaces him for the next set and does it from memory. After a successful performance of Whiplash, Fletcher promotes Andrew to the core drummer. Because of his single-mindedness towards music, Andrew's relationship with his family deteriorates. Andrew is taken aback when Fletcher abruptly gives the position to Ryan Connolly, a drummer from a lower-level ensemble within Schaefer.
Don't worry about Fletcher. He's more bark than bite.
Hey, look, I can play these charts. I'm not. Why would you
Now
do
is
that?
not the time, I swear to God.
I can play it, okay?
I said not now! If you want the part, earn it.
Andrew realizes that he needs to prioritize his drumming above everything else, so he abruptly breaks up with his girlfriend Nicole to focus on his ambitions. That same night, the drummers are all put through a grueling 5-hour practice session. Andrew earns back the core position. The next day, on their way to the competition, Andrew's bus breaks down. He rents a car but arrives late and forgets his stick at the rental office. After convincing an impatient Fletcher to wait for him, Andrew races back to retrieve them, but on his way back, Andrew crawls from the wreckage and runs to the theater, arriving with a face covered in blood and a ripped suit just as the ensemble enters the stage. Heavily injured, he struggles to play Caravan, and Fletcher halts the performance to dismiss him from the band. Enraged, Andrew attacks Fletcher on stage and later is expelled from Schaefer. At his father's request, Andrew meets a lawyer representing the parents of Sean Casey, a former student of Fletcher's. He learns that Casey hung himself due to depression and anxiety caused by Fletcher's abuse. Casey's parents want Fletcher held accountable.
This would not be a public hearing, you know. Fletcher would never know it was you who spoke up.
Why would you do this to me?
Do you think that I would let him put my son through hell and then just walk away scot-free? Don't you know I would never let that happen?
Andrew agrees to testify anonymously. leading Schaefer to terminate Fletcher. Andrew subsequently abandons drumming. Months later, Andrew encounters Fletcher playing piano at a jazz club. Over a drink, Fletcher admits his teaching methods were harsh, but argues they were necessary to motivate his students to become successful.
Truth is, I don't think people understood what it was I was doing at Schaefer. I wasn't there to conduct. Any moron can wave his arms and keep people in tempo. I was there to push people beyond what's expected of them. I believe that is an absolute necessity. Otherwise, we're depriving the world of the next Louis Armstrong, the next Charlie Parker.
He invites Andrew to perform with his band at the JVC Jazz Festival, assuring him that the songs will be the same ones played by the studio band. Andrew hesitantly accepts. Andrew calls Nicole to invite her to the performance, but finds out she's in a new relationship. On the day of the concert, before going on stage, Fletcher tells the band that this is a make or break performance and wishes them good luck. On stage, before the first piece, Fletcher reveals a shocking truth to Andrew.
What?
I know it was you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're very excited to be here, kicking off the JVC Festival this year. I'm Terrence Fletcher, and these are some of the best musicians in New York, which means they're some of the best musicians in the world. And we're going to do some old standards for you, but first we're going to start out with a new tune by Tim Simonek called Upswingin'.
As revenge, Fletcher leads the band into a song Andrew does not know and does not have the sheet music to play. After a disastrous performance, Andrew walks off stage humiliated, but returns and cuts off Fletcher's introduction to the next piece by playing the intro to Caravan, cueing the band himself. Initially angered, Fletcher resumes conducting. As the piece finishes, Andrew continues into an extended, unexpected solo. Fletcher is impressed and goes along with it.
To be great is to be misunderstood. This quote by famed American writer Ralph Waldo Emerson, I think speaks to Andrew's drive in wanting to become one of the greats in drumming, and perhaps even to Fletcher's teaching method. But at the end of the day, we must ask ourselves, at what cost? 接下来我们揭晓今天的学习内容。More bark than bite. If you say that someone's bark is worse than their bite, you mean that they seem much more unpleasant or hostile than they really are. Although someone says things that sound frightening, the person's actions will not be as severe as things that were said. For example, don't worry about John's threats. He has more bark than bite. Walk away scot-free. Scot was a Scottish term for a unit of taxation. Anyone who did not have to pay taxes got off scot-free. To escape from some predicament, accusation, or wrongdoing without incurring any penalty or punishment. To be acquitted of all charges for some crime or crimes. For example, John got off scot-free even though he ran across a red light. And that's it for this episode of Cinephile. You can find more on the FUNDAY website. Let's make every day a fun day.
You're here for a reason. You believe that, right?
Yeah.
Say it.
I'm here for a reason.
Cool.
那我们今天就是要来测测你的英文程度。那对自己有自信吗？
没有。
没有。优若乳，请问它的英文你知道怎么说吗
Yogurt。
没错，现在在考你，到底要怎么拼呢
G。
这个是一个动物。
恐 雀，
孔雀没错。那孔雀的英文是？
不知道。
不会。
Colorful bird。
哇，不对。那你有听说过 break a leg 吗？
休息一下嘛。
休息吗？做得很好。
停下脚步。
也不是。We see eye to eye 是什么意思呢？
四眼相交。
看到眼睛。
我们来公布答案。我们的观点一致。
你也跟他们一样英文卡卡，想不到该怎么说吗？现在加入我们 FUNDAY 赠送1个月数位学堂，3到6个月就能让你的英文突飞猛进。赶快点击我们的链接前往注册吧。